How old are you?
I'm 28.
Has a man ever proposed to you?
No.
Why do you think it hasn't happened?
I've been in relationships before, but I've never found my true man for him to propose.
If you could make him in a machine.
I could make him if God handed me himself. It would be he's funny, he brings me peace, he gives me my confidence, and he doesn't bring me down.
What about the financial side?
I feel like I do very well for myself, so I want him to eat with me.
Minimum income you'd want him to have.
Where am I living?
Here.
Right here in Miami. I feel like Miami and Chicago are like, they're similar. I live in Chicago. I love Miami. I feel like minimum for me, truthfully, like engagement ring and all, he's got to make at least, like I would say, like $750.
$750 annually.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. In my lifestyle, I need at least like $5 million.
You say it shouldn't be about the money. What do you...
It always matters about the money. She's a dentist.
I'm a dentist. I would love to treat my man.
Dentist.
I've been dating my guy for almost 5 years. I always treat him to the day I die.
Does he make $750K?
No, and I don't really care about that. It's all about his personality. These guys are very hard to find. Very, very good guys are hard to find.
But he treats her so well.
Very well.
Does he make more or less than you?
Maybe about the same, maybe a little bit less. Obviously, I'm a doctor, so we're in different brackets, but I would say about the same.
Did you hear that?
It doesn't even matter. Money does not matter.
She's a doctor, though. She's a bad bitch.
You meet this guy who does these things and he...
This I find so interesting. I always find this interesting. So he obviously asked this lady in the yellow trousers what her preferences are, and preferences are a little bit out there. They're a little bit wacky in terms of what she's looking for. Someone that's earning 750k a year. Someone that's earning 700. Can we kind of just understand what that number is? 750k. The percentage of people that are earning 750k, that's a small pool. That is a small pool. And then we got to legislate for things like attraction, possibly height, possibly location. When you start thinking like that, then the number starts becoming very, very small. And I'm not sure how serious she is about that number, but what I find really interesting is the contrast between two so-called friends. I find it really interesting how one friend can have ridiculously unrealistic expectations, especially when her friend is like polar opposite, just in terms of the way she carries herself. Like one's really, really loud, whereas the other one is a little bit more quiet, reserved. I didn't even know anyone was standing next to her until the camera panned around and she started speaking. So it's just, for me, it's really, really interesting how two people can be friends in this instant, because in my head, one's gonna drag the other down. Like the woman on the left, like if this is your friend and this is her frame of mind, there's only so long until that frame of mind starts to affect you and starts to seep into you. She's not going to be the friend that you go to, because she's not really going to give you any good advice, because the way she thinks and the way you think are two completely different ways of thinking. But then again, people have different friends for different things, so who knows if she's the friend that she goes to for advice and she talks to about serious things. She might just be the friend for a good night out. She seems like a good night out. She seems funny, loud, etc., etc. But at the same time, I think when you choose your friends, you got to choose friends with the same mentality as you. You got to choose friends that elevate you in some kind of way. Sometimes people choose friends just based on childhood and what they've been through and longevity and things like that, and sometimes that leads you to a place where you end up having a friend that is somewhat detrimental to your own way of thinking, because their way of thinking is so contrasting, and even in the differences of opinion in terms of what they expect from their man, and morals are a big thing as well. So that could show up as well, because if this woman right here is turning around and saying, well, it's all about the money, it's all about the money, and then the friend is like, no, it's actually about love. We're sitting at two different ends of the spectrum in terms of way of thinking, so the morals could come into that as well. I don't know what a complete moral grounding is, but it just seems very, very interesting that two people that our friends are completely different in terms of the way they think. But maybe, maybe there's a different opinion out there. So please, guys, let me know what you think in terms of friendship. Do you have friends that are completely different to you in terms of way of thinking, and does it work? I have friends that have different trains of thought to me in many different things, but this seems very, very contrasting. So let me know what you think as well, but we'll hear what the rest of the interview has to say.
Wants to provide and live with you.
Yeah.
How do you help his life improve?
I give him peace. I give him head anytime he wants. You want me to be honest with you? Like, I'm that type of girl. Don't snip that out.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Has a man ever proposed to you?
Wow. Honestly, she's a bit of a wild one. Peace and head whenever he wants. So, a man is going to go and earn 750k a year, be in the upper echelons of men out there. And what I'm going to get afterwards is peace and head. And to build, at the start she said build into, you don't need to build nothing. I'm earning 750k. What am I building with you? I don't think people sit down and recognize themselves sometimes before they start talking. I don't think they really understand how they come across. I don't think they really take a deep dive into who they are, what their makeup is as a person, what they give off to other people, what energy they're putting out there. And I don't think people sit down and access their results and say, okay, this is my track record within this space. Because I think if they did, we would be seeing a lot more people talk with a lot more sense and a lot, like a massive amount, I can't even get the words out, a massive amount of just humbleness, humility. Like, she's talking like she's the best looking woman in the world. Anyone will be lucky to be with her. Even a man that's earning 750k would probably be lucky to be with her. And her friend's like, listen, that's not what it's all about, girl. it's about something different. You need to look at his character and things like that. I've got a great man, blah, blah, blah. And she actually agreed with her and said, listen, yeah, she's got a great man. So why is your friend not rubbing off on you and saying, okay, this is the way I think, how about you? And this is where it comes down to people holding people accountable as well, because sometimes you need your friends just to be like, hey, check that behavior. I've said this so many times before. You need your friends to see what you don't see. You need your friends to see your blind spot. And if she's not seeing it, then, and she's not advising her to try and become a better person, then I don't know what's going on. But as always, let me know what you think, guys. It'd be great to know what you think on this one, because I just don't understand. I don't understand how two friends can be complete polar opposites, but maybe it's common, maybe it's normal. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.